And now, KTAB presents Veterans Voices, honoring those who serve.
Hello, and thanks for being here for this KTAB special presentation. I'm Bob Bartlett. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll hear about how our veterans have been honored here in Abilene and across the big country over the last year. First, this story is one you'll remember. It was a reunion 50 years in the making. Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Gooden was honored in October with a proclamation from Mayor Anthony Williams and a lot more. Our Mercedes Hernandez has this tribute.
They got me here under false pretenses last night. I had no idea.
Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Gooden had no idea that 9 of the troops he led in Vietnam were in Abilene, all to see him.
How does that make you feel?
Humble. Humble.
The surprise started months ago when Alan English began reaching out to his fellow servicemen for this stealth mission. But when these men met, they were all just fresh-faced soldiers in need of a leader.
One night in early March of '69, a rocket hit the company commander's hooch, killing the company commander and wounding the executive officer.
Gooden offered strength as an interim leader, a calm presence in the face of extreme adversity.
Just his presence stabilized the people in the unit.
Gooden's 3 daughters were also in on the surprise.
We tricked him and it was not easy.
Bringing him to the hotel for his daughter Darla's leadership course graduation. But after stepping into the room and reading the signs, the commander was caught off guard.
I turned to my wife and I said, "What's going on?"
His life as father and commander coming together in that same instant.
Well, he's been such a wonderful father figure to us, and then to find out that he was a father figure to these men, it was neat to see that correlation.
And while Gooden is joined by family and friends for this special anniversary, he's also remembering the ones that couldn't be there.
We were doing our jobs. And we remember those that were still doing their jobs and they didn't get back.
But the ones that did share a bond that only brothers can.
We can't explain it among ourselves, but it's just a brotherhood. And that's the way I feel about these guys. They're special.
For us to all come here 50 years later, I ought to tell you what we thought of them.
Thank you, Mercedes. And this was a big headline this year. The United States federal government officially recognized Abilene as one of the few cities in the country to functionally end veteran homelessness. Abilene is the 9th city in the nation to achieve functional zero for veteran homelessness, according to the stricter guidelines set by the national nonprofit Community Solutions. After achieving its first milestone, now the West Texas Homeless Network and Community Solutions have officially launched the next campaign, working to achieve functional zero for chronic homelessness while maintaining a functional zero for veterans. Honoring the very special military veterans who have received Purple Hearts, Taylor County has been doing that, but now is an official Purple Heart County. August 7th was Purple Heart Day, and Taylor County officials joined veterans to unveil a new plaque at the courthouse. It's a tribute to the people in Taylor County who earned Purple Hearts in the nation's military conflicts and their families. There is a new Purple Heart Road sign on Oak Street. It was part of the Bankhead Highway through Abilene during the years before and after World War II. Next, a trip of a lifetime as World War II veterans get the chance to revisit old memories and pay tribute to their fellow soldiers at the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. It's all part of the Honor Flight DFW program. The most recent trip wrapped up recently, and KTAB's Jessica Rank got the chance to sit down with one of the travelers who's from Abilene.
After one weekend and over 2,600 miles of traveling, Dennis Bruno is home once again. How was your trip?
Oh, the trip was really outstanding.
A ride in the sky to our nation's capital, which was a familiar mode of transportation for Dennis.
I had 30 years in the Air Force. From the first airplane I ever saw, I loved airplanes.
And even though he's been to D.C. before, it's been nearly 70 years since his feet hit that soil.
So it had changed quite a bit since I was there.
But luckily, Dennis didn't have to brave the change alone. Along for the ride, his longtime friend, Paul Wyszynski.
I kind of looked at those guys as they paved the way. If they didn't do what they did, I wouldn't have been able to go into the Air Force, and you wouldn't be sitting here right now, and we might be speaking some other kind of language.
It's all part of a trip that honors World War II veterans just like Dennis Bruno. And while it was mostly about reliving old memories,
to watch not only him, but all, in particular, the World War II vets visit that memorial that was dedicated to them was very heartwarming for an old guy like me.
That didn't stop Dennis from making a few new ones of his own.
And when one of the coordinators went over to Dennis and said, "Would you like to dance?" he just popped right up there and started doing the dance.
That was sort of a thrill.
In Abilene, with coverage you can count on, Jessica Rank, KTAB News.
Thank you, Jessica. I had the opportunity to interview Mr. Bruno a couple of years ago. In fact, he's written a book about all that he has seen during World War II in his lifetime. World War II veterans made the trek to D.C. The trip, of course, paid through donations to honor Flight DFW. I was privileged to travel with World War II veterans on an honor flight from Abilene several years ago. Just a wonderful experience. A group of local veterans hit the road this last year to pay tribute to all those who have served and are still serving our country. The local American Legion Riders took part in the annual Patriot Tour, transporting an American flag across almost all 50 states in a little more than 100 days. Legion Riders from Lubbock arrived in the key city to pass on the flag in a city-to-city relay that helps raise funds for disabled veterans. Veterans Voices continues here on KTAB. Next, just because a veteran had no known family did not mean he had no one there to honor his life. The touching story in 2 minutes. But first, did you know 9.4% of all veterans are women? But that number is growing each year.